Has this ever happened to you? You meet someone at a party, you shake hands, they tell you their name, you smile, you nod, and then literally 30 seconds later, is gone. Poof, vanished. And then you spend the next 20 minutes trying to avoid calling them by their name, hoping nobody notices. If that sounds familiar, this video is going to change how you see yourself. Because most people think forgetting names means you're careless or rude or just not smart enough. But here's the truth, and science actually backs this up. People who forget names easily are not broken, their brains just work differently. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why that happens, what it says about your psychology, and, most importantly, what you can actually do about it. Stay till the end, because the last point I'm going to share is the one most people never talk about. Let's get into it. So first, let's just admit something together. Forgetting names is embarrassing, like really embarrassing. You see someone at the grocery store, they wave at you with full confidence, big smile, clearly they remember you, and you're standing there internally panicking, trying to piece together any clue about who this person is. Do I know them from work, school? Is this my neighbor? Are they a cousin I forgot about? And the worst part, they say your name correctly, with confidence, and you go, "Hey, you, good to see you." We've all been there, don't lie. But here's what nobody tells you. This isn't a character flaw. This is actually your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do. Let me explain. Point 1. Your brain doesn't care about names, it cares about meaning. Here's something wild that neuroscientists discovered. Your brain is not a recording device. It doesn't store information like a hard drive. Instead, it's a meaning-making machine. It holds on to things that feel significant, emotions, experiences, smells, sounds, and it quietly drops things that feel random. And guess what? Names are random. Think about it. James doesn't mean anything. Sarah doesn't tell your brain anything useful. They're just sounds we assign to people. Compare that to remembering someone's face, which carries emotional data, or remembering that they told you something funny, or that they were wearing a bright red jacket. That stuff sticks because it connects to something. But a name? Your brain treats it like a phone number you didn't ask for. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Research shows that the moment someone tells you their name, your brain is actually not fully paying attention. Because in that exact moment, your brain is busy analyzing a completely different set of information. It's scanning their face, reading their body language, deciding if they're a threat or a friend, figuring out the social dynamics of the situation. So by the time you register the name, it's already competing with 100 other things your brain thought were more urgent. You didn't forget, you never fully encoded it in the first place. Point 2. People who forget names are often more emotionally intelligent. Okay, I know that sounds like I'm just trying to make you feel better, but stay with me. There's a specific type of person who consistently forgets names, and psychologists have noticed a pattern. These people tend to be highly present in conversations. They're actually absorbing what you're saying. They're tracking the emotion behind your words, not just the information. When you're talking to them, they're not thinking about what to say next, they're actually listening. And because their mental bandwidth is being used for that, the name, which came right at the beginning before the real conversation started, gets pushed out. Ironically, a lot of people who are great at remembering names are doing something sneaky. They repeat the name immediately, use it in the next sentence, write it down mentally. That's a skill, but it also means they're partly focused on the technique, not fully on you. So the person who forgot your name might have actually been more present with you than the person who remembered it perfectly. Think about that. And by the way, there's another point coming up that most people completely overlook. It's about anxiety, and it explains why some people forget names even when they really are paying attention. Don't go anywhere. Point 3. Social anxiety hijacks your memory in real time. Here's one that hits close to home for a lot of people. You know that feeling when you're introduced to someone new and there's a tiny voice in your head going, "Okay, act normal, don't be weird. What do I do with my hands? Am I smiling too much?
You might be
Not
more
enough."
emotionally
That
present
voice,
than you realize.
It's anxiety.
You might be
And
carrying
anxiety
more
has
social
a really
sensitivity
nasty
than
side
the
effect.
average person.
It floods your
And your
brain
working
with stress
memory
hormones,
might be wired for
cortisol,
creativity
adrenaline,
and deep
those
focus,
hormones
not
literally
surface-level
interfere
data
with your
collection.
hippocampus. That's
So,
the part
yes,
of your brain
you might
responsible
forget someone's
for forming
name,
new memories.
but I'll bet you remember
So when you're
exactly
nervous,
how they
even
made you
mildly
feel.
nervous,
And
your
honestly,
brain's
that
ability
matters
to lock
more.
in new information
So the
drops
next time you meet
significantly.
someone,
This is why
breathe, be
introverts,
present,
shy people,
repeat
or
the
anyone
name
who
once,
gets even
and
slightly
give
anxious
yourself
in
some
social
grace.
situations,
You're not
will
forgetting because
consistently
you
struggle
don't care.
with names.
You're
more than
forgetting
confident
because your
extroverts.
brain cares about
It's not about
everything else
intelligence
first.
It's about your
Now
nervous
go
system
connect
being
with someone
activated at the
this
exact
time.
wrong
Remember
moment.
their name.
And the cruel irony, the more you worry about forgetting the name, the more likely you are to forget it.
because that worry itself is adding more cognitive load at the moment you need to be clear. So if this resonates with you, you're not forgetful. You might just be someone who feels social pressure more intensely than others, and that's actually a sign of depth, not weakness. Point 4. Your working memory might just be wired differently. Now let's talk about something a little more neurological. Everyone has what's called a working memory. Think of it like your brain's RAM. It's the mental space where you hold information temporarily while you're using it. Some people have a large working memory. They can hold a lot of things at once: names, faces, context, conversation, all at the same time. Other people have what researchers call a more selective working memory. It's not smaller, it's more focused. It keeps what feels urgent and drops what feels like background noise. And for these people, names often fall into the background noise category, especially during a first meeting when so much else is happening. And here's the thing about selective working memory. It's often linked to higher creativity and deeper focus in other areas. A lot of artists, writers, designers, and deep thinkers struggle with names, not because they're less intelligent, but because their minds are operating at a different frequency. They're processing the world in layers, not just on the surface. So yes, you might forget someone's name, but I'll bet you remember exactly how they made you feel. And honestly, that matters more. Point 5. The game changer. How to actually remember names without being fake about it. Alright, now let's get practical, because understanding why you forget is one thing, but let's actually fix it. And I'm not going to give you the generic advice you've already heard. I'm going to give you what actually works. First, repeat the name immediately, but make it natural. When someone says their name, use it once in your very next sentence, not in a creepy way, just naturally. That's a great name, Marcus. Or, so Marcus, how do you know the host? Your brain needs that one repetition to start building the memory. Second, attach the name to something visual. This sounds weird, but it works. If someone's name is Rose, imagine a rose sitting on their shoulder. If it's Stone, picture a rock on their head. Ridiculous? Yes. Effective? Absolutely. Your brain holds visuals way better than abstract sounds. Third, ask for the name again without shame. This is the one people are most scared to do, but here's the truth. Asking someone their name a second time actually shows respect. It tells them you want to get it right. Most people aren't offended. Most people are flattered. Just say, "I'm sorry, I want to make sure I have your name right," and watch how warmly they respond. And fourth, reduce the anxiety at the moment of introduction. Take one slow breath before you meet someone new. Ground yourself for 2 seconds. That tiny reset lowers your cortisol enough to actually let the name land in your memory. Small habit, massive difference. All right, let's bring it all together. If you forget names easily, you are not rude, you are not careless, you are not less intelligent. Your brain is a meaning-making machine that prioritizes depth over data. You might be more emotionally present than you realize. You might be carrying more social sensitivity than the average person. And your working memory might be wired for creativity and deep focus, not surface-level data collection. So yes, you might forget someone's name, but I'll bet you remember exactly how they made you feel. And honestly, that matters more. So the next time you meet someone, breathe, be present, repeat the name once, and give yourself some grace. You're not forgetting because you don't care. You're forgetting because your brain cares about everything else first. Now go connect with someone, and this time, remember their name.
Has this ever happened to you? You meet someone at a party, you shake hands, they tell you their name, you smile, you nod, and then literally 30 seconds later, is gone. Poof, vanished. And then you spend the next 20 minutes trying to avoid calling them by their name, hoping nobody notices. If that sounds familiar, this video is going to change how you see yourself. Because most people think forgetting names means you're careless or rude or just not smart enough. But here's the truth, and science actually backs this up. People who forget names easily are not broken. Their brains just work differently. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why that happens,